Hey everybody, Josh RV Nerd again here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan with your December industry update. And it may not be looking a lot like Christmas, but it's starting to feel a lot like Christmas. These big old floppy ears I got and these skinny little lady fingers I got over here, which are really good on keyboards, not so good at holding heat. It's getting cold. We've got a couple good topics for you today. I don't think this will be as long as most of my videos. I know I tend to blather on quite a bit. We're going to hit on some things like inventory volumes, more expectations on show season, expected ordering dates, like if you ordered an RV today or if an RV were ordered today for a dealer, like when would it expect to roll in? And then what's going on with pricing through the industry with all the different craziness we got going on. But first, something different. I'd like to take a moment to introduce you to something that we do every year here at Haylett RV, and that is decorate this giant blue spruce on the corner of our property. Now the thing is, as far as we know, this is the largest naturally growing Christmas decorated blue spruce in the known world. We used to put out a challenge every year if somebody could find a bigger one, and nobody ever spoke up. This is larger than the tree that the president lights every year. This is larger than the tree that is lit up in Rockefeller Center in New York City every year. And a lot of people think this actually belongs to the city. But that big guy back there, that's actually ours. And that's something Mr. Haylett really believes in. Every single year, he dips into his own pocket. He hires crews to come out and put the lights all over that thing. I'll get you some good night footage coming up pretty soon here because we've got some all new red, white, blue LEDs all over that thing and it just looks fantastic. So let's talk incoming inventory. For a while, if I did a spin like this at our facility here, you just saw all kinds of open dirt and asphalt. It was jarring. Like, I've never seen it like that. But if you notice in the background of like this entire video so far, you're seeing lines of trailers. Now there's still some open territory here, but it is finally beginning to fill back up with things. We are finally starting to see a steady flow of inventory. And that's another thing that I really like about it. It's been steady. It hasn't been like one big burst of like 20 per week. For a while, there were weeks where we saw nothing new come in, which is scary. And then we started to see 1 or 2 a week. And then it got to be about 1 a day on average. And then recently here, you'll notice we've had a fair number of videos on some new RVs, new floor plans, things coming out, not just trade-ins, not just pre-owned things from our A1 brokerage facility down the street coming in, but you know, new models. And what I like about it is we've started to see, you know, about 2 to 4 a day, a nice healthy clip. And what I've noticed is the fit and finish has been better, frankly, than what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting bad. I've talked about that in previous videos, and I've shared reasons why I kind of felt that I don't think people needed to feel real scared about that. But it's actually been better than I expected. I thought the general core structure of things was going to be fine. I thought we'd see some fit and finish, some gappy trim issues that we could just shore up for you real quick here at Haylett RV. And it's not that we haven't seen none of it. It's that we've seen less than I think even last year. I think we've seen better overall completion rates from manufacturers. And I think it's largely because, once again, they cannot overbuild this stuff right now. And I know that there are some people who live around the northern Indiana area who say, man, Josh, I go by those manufacturers' yards and they're just packed full of trailers. Well, those are things that are all waiting to be completed. Like they might be short a microwave or short an air conditioner or furnace or something like that. The thing is, though, there's only so much physical space that they have to park those things. They can't just keep cranking them out. So they have to work at a very steady clip. And it shows. And it's healthier. I think it's, in the end, I think it'll end up being better for dealerships, final consumers, and everybody. We just all gotta continue to kind of take our time, be a little patient, and get there. Although, I think the Christmas season often, the holiday season in general, tends to direct our attention elsewhere. So I think it's giving the manufacturers and the suppliers some much needed respite, a little bit of time to get caught up. Now it does sound like RV show season is still really up in the air. It does sound like it's falling down a little bit more than it's blowing up though. At least it's going to vary regionally, but I know that here around the Midwest, most of the RV shows, especially most of the major ones, have pretty much already been canceled. My brother is on the board that helps make those decisions, so you know I've got a very reliable source on that. And something could change at the 11th hour. It's been a weird year. It's been a weird season. Don't know. I'm just letting you know what I have available to me at this point. And you might wonder though, like, how are they already making that decision? Those aren't for months. Well, the show spaces that you have to rent and reserve and pay for, the advertising, all that stuff has to be reserved and paid for ahead of time. So this is already the time of year where dealers and organizations have to make the decision: are we pulling the trigger, or are we pulling the plug? And as a whole level of uncertainties are out there, and the fact is a lot of dealerships still have low levels of inventory like we do, they're saying, why would we pay all the money to go to the RV shows when, you know, we've already got open space on the lot? So I don't think you're going to see a lot of that this year, but it could change. I know some places I've heard down south, out west, have had a couple. So I guess I'd like to get maybe some field reporting from our faithful viewers here, the RV Nerd Herd and the Halet Nation. What have you guys heard in your neck of the woods? Let us know what you're hearing in terms of RV show season where you live. Let us know where you live. Maybe together we can try to figure that one out a little bit more detailed. So stuff is coming in pretty steady, pretty consistent. But what if the one that you want we don't have, or somebody else just bought it and we're out of stock again for a little bit? If you put your stamp on something today, you call Halet RV, said, okay, let's buy that one right there. When will it be rolling in? And what we're hearing from manufacturers right now is, like, if you pull the trigger on something today, they are loosely estimating the February to March time frame. And that is, again, all subject to who knows what kind of different shortages, challenges, or various other hiccups, hurdles, and factors that they haven't encountered yet that they might run into. So it really does seem, if you want to be ready for the opening of the general camping season, when most campgrounds, at least around here, especially here around the Midwest, they tend to open around like April 15th as the general target unofficial start of the camping season in the Midwest. If you want to be ready for that, very quickly have your affairs in order and give our team a call, because we are very quickly approaching that 11th hour. And it is a nice little time where if something did roll in that time frame, you're not going to have to really like travel through all the, you know, rough winter weather. For the most part, all that's going to basically be done. You'll have your RV in time to kind of get your hands on it, get familiar with it, get it packed up, so that when the campground's open, you can just show up to that booking and go camping and not have to wait in line. And the elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about, but again, we pride ourselves in our transparency and our good information here from Halet RV. Pricing. I mentioned in my last video, we've seen some material cost surcharges come in from the manufacturers because they're suppliers. Like, to give you an idea, like my brother, take the RV industry out of the equation. My older brother runs a place down the street called Matt Halet Homes. Actually has nothing to do with us here at Halet RV. Just he's a different son of the boss, an SOB. he does his own independent thing. And he does modular housing. The cost of lumber has gone up over double. Like boards that he was buying for $14 a piece or whatever, or you know, materials are now at $28.32. So the cost of raw materials has gone up. Copper has more than doubled. All of the lights, all of the wires, all the household outlets in these things, they need that copper to run. So the hard base material costs that supply RVs, boats, cars, trucks, horse trailers, housing, that stuff has jumped a ton compared to where it used to be even a year ago. And as a result, I haven't seen it yet, but mark my words, around the February mark, I suspect you're going to see, I don't like this, but it's, I suspect, and I have a lot of experience, and I predict you're going to see somewhere between 2 to 4% base price increase, depending on which brand you're looking at and how much of the affected materials they need to use. There's just, you know, only so much they can absorb, and I get it. I'm not happy about it. I don't love it, but you guys deserve to know about it. You know, you spend a lot of time picking out the right one and making these decisions. I want you to know, when you come to Halet RV, even if it ain't always sunshine and rainbows, you will always get straight facts from us here, guys. So as always, I hope you can appreciate the candor, the transparency, and the decency that we conduct ourselves with here at Halet RV, so that when you're ready, any one of these kind of things, you give our team over here in our family-owned and operated facility a call, and we would sure love the opportunity to work with you when you're ready. We're not a high-pressure place. We're not a big box chain store. We're a very large dealership in a small town who is located very close to where these things are built, so you can cut out virtually all the shipping costs that a longer distance dealer might incur. So I don't care if you live in Florida, California, Texas, Maine, anywhere in between. When you're ready, we're ready. And in the meantime, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because we have hundreds of new RV tours getting ready to come in the next couple months here. It's going to be a cold but exciting time for me, and hopefully just a warm and exciting time for you watching these from home or at work. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylet camping, everyone.